Today we are going to discuss investment appraisal methods. It is also called as capital budgeting techniques. So we have to analyze or estimate the investment or project cost. Then otherwise we have to make out investment analysis with respect to cost of capital. So first thing is we have already learned cost of capital, and second one is investment appraisal of the particular project. So if you want to analyze the particular project, whether it is feasible or whether it can be accepted for the investment or not, we need to take into consideration of capital budgeting techniques, or it is also called as investment appraisal methods. These are broadly categorized into traditional and modern methods. In the traditional method, it is not considering present value of cash flows. Modern methods considers present value of cash flows. So we need to take into consideration of two types of methods for evaluating investment. First one is traditional method. In the traditional, we have further methods called payback method or ARR, accounting rate of return or average rate of return. In the modern, we have three methods: NPV, IRR and PI, profitability index. NPV is nothing but net present value. IRR is internal rate of return. PI is profitability index. So ARR means accounting rate of return, or it is also called average rate of return. Accounting rate or average rate. NPV means net present value. IRR is internal rate of return. PI is profitability index. PI is profitability index. So for each project we can select any of these methods. Based on the value derived from each method, we need to decide whether that project can be accepted or rejected. So investment decision or capital budgeting decision is depending on acceptance or reject criterion using traditional or modern methods. So payback period will be considering return of investment. So how much period it will take to get back your investment is called payback period. So the duration of the cash flows expected for the next 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, and the sum of the cash flows expected for the future years should be equal to the investment, then it is called payback period. And in the ARR, average rate of return, we need to use formula, that is average income by average investment. So if you are considering ARR, then whichever is higher is accepted in the case of ARR. In the case of payback, whichever is lower is accepted. Now take into consideration of net present value and IRR, profitability index. These three values are considering cash flow that is present value of cash flows, and after that we are trying to compare with one or two investment projects, then we need to select whichever is best. So at least we require two different project information, project 1 and project 2, or project 1, 2, 3, or project 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So we are making into consideration of different projects, different cash flows, and based on the investment, that is cash outflows, income, cash inflows, we need to consider whichever the project is better using either traditional method or modern method. So for example, we will take into consideration of one investment. Suppose the cost of project or estimated investment is 10 lakhs. Estimated investment of a project is 10 lakhs and expected cash flows, we are expecting cash flows for 5 years, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assume in the first year 2 lakhs, second year 3 lakhs, third year another 3 lakhs, fourth year 4 lakhs, and fifth year suppose 3 lakh 50,000. So 10 lakhs is the investment of the project. So after investing 10 lakhs in a project, the expected cash flows, that means inflows for the project, are like this: 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs in the first year, 2 lakhs, second year 3 lakhs, third year 3 lakhs, fourth year 4 lakhs, and fifth year 3 lakh 50,000. So what is the expected payback period for this project? That means we need to calculate the duration of the project, in that duration that equals to the total investment made initially. So for that, the first step is we have to make out cumulative cash flows. Need to find cumulative cash flow of the each year. So first year 2 lakhs, second year 2 plus 3 5 lakhs, third year 8 lakhs, fourth year 8 plus 4 12 lakhs, fifth year 12 plus 3.5 15 lakhs 50,000. Cumulative cash flows, that are nothing but adding of the present year cash flows with the next year cash flows. So present year cash flows 2 lakhs plus 3 5 lakhs, and third year plus 3 8 lakhs, fourth year plus 4 12 lakhs, and fifth year 3 lakh 50,000, total 15 lakhs 50,000. So how much we require? 10 lakhs. So expected investment is 10 lakhs and we are getting 12 lakhs by the end of fourth year. So exactly you need to find the duration of the investment getting back, total duration of the investment getting back, that is approximately 3 years plus some months. So what is that exact duration? So up to 3 years we have received 8 lakhs and we require another 2 lakhs to get your investment back, that is 10 lakhs should be returned back. So the 2 lakhs is received in the fourth year. So in the fourth year total amount is received 4 lakhs. So for the entire year 4 lakhs is required. So 2 lakhs, so you can say 6 months. So 3 years 6 months is required duration for the project. Otherwise you can calculate 3 years plus balance required by expected monthly cash flows. This is payback period. So payback period 3 years means up to this 3 years we have calculated, and balance required, that balance required is here 3 plus balance required 2 lakhs, and monthly cash flows of the 4th year of subsequent year, that you can write here. So 4 lakhs divided by 12. 4 lakhs divided by 12. That is expected cash flow, monthly cash flow for the subsequent year. So ultimately you will get 3 years 6 months. The 3 years 6 months is the payback period for this project. So we are investing 10 lakhs and expecting these are the cash flows for the subsequent years, and finally we are calculating the balance required 2 lakhs in the 4th year, that is exactly 6 months after 3rd year. So the same example we can consider to calculate average rate of return. So the average rate of return, that is called ARR, average investment by average income by average investment into 100. The formula to calculate average rate of return or accounting rate of return is average income by average investment. So the average income means the cash flows. So 15 lakhs 50,000 is total. So we can have another step here. The average income is total cash flows by number of years. So total cash flows are 15 lakhs 50,000 by 5, that is 3100. 3 lakhs 10,000 is average cash flow, average income. So what is investment? The investment, average investment, we consider 10 lakhs by 2, that is 5 lakhs. Now using ARR formula, average income is 3 lakhs 10,000, average investment is 5 lakhs into 100 in terms of percentage. In terms of percentage, average income by average investment, that comes around 62%. So regarding average investment, we have different formulas, whether to take into consideration of depreciation, whether to take into consideration of scrap value, or whether to take into consideration of working capital. So if you go through the textbook, you can see what is the scrap value, how to find average investment, or opening scrap value, closing scrap value, whether to add and deduct, all these you can find. But in general, we can take into consideration of average investment means investment by 2, average income is total cash flows by number of years, that is 15 lakhs 50,000 by 3 lakh 10,000. So 62%, that is average rate of return we are considering here. The next stage is, next method called net present value, NPV. This formula is sigma PVC of T, PVCFT, T is equal to 1 to N minus CO, that is PVCO. Otherwise you can write here like present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. So present value of cash inflows, that we need to find what is the present value of cash inflows. The total present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. So cash outflows is nothing but investment. The investment made for the project will be deducted from total present value of cash inflows. Then accept or reject, whether you are accepting or rejecting the project. If NPV greater than 0, accept the project. If NPV is less than 0, reject the project. If NPV equal to 0, no decision. So after calculating net present value, we need to find whether NPV is greater than 0 or NPV is less than 0, NPV is equal to 0. So NPV greater than 0, we need to accept. Suppose if we are considering two different projects, then if NPV of project A greater than NPV of project B, you need to accept project A. If NPV of project A is greater than NPV of project B, we need to accept project A. Vice versa, if NPV of project B is greater than NPV of project A, we need to accept project B. So when you are considering two projects, we need to make a comparison of first project with respect to second project, right? Then how do you find the present value of cash flow? The present value of cash flow is considering value of rupee, that is also called present value of rupee. Present value of 1 rupee is depending on present value factor. The present value of 1 rupee is depending on present value factor. The present value factor we can find using this 1 by 1 plus r to the power of n. 1 by 1 plus r to the power of n. What is r? R is rate of interest, otherwise the required rate of return. N is number of years. So R is rate of interest, N is number of years. If you want to find present value factor at a certain given rate of interest at a certain period, for each year you need to calculate the discounted value. This is also called discounting cash flow. Discounting cash flow technique. Because we are discounting the 1 rupee with the required rate of return to the power of number of years. So this method is called discounting cash flow technique. So present value of 1 rupee will be varying from time to time according to interest rate. For example, if R equal to 10, N is equal to 1, PV is 1 by 1 plus 0.10, that is 1 by 1.1, that comes to 0.909. 0.909. That means if you are investing 9.909, that is 90 rupees 90 paise now, at given 10% interest rate, we can get 100 rupees after 1 year. In other words, if you want to get 100 rupees after 1 year, we need to discount it to 10%. Now you have to discount at 10%, you will be investing 90.90 paise. So like this, present value is discounting value. So you can see in any financial management book, present value tables, there will be three types of tables. First type is present value of cash flows, second is present value of annuity, then third one is compound value, that 1 rupee compound value, that means future value, present value and annuity factors. If you are taking into consideration of these three table values, it is very much easy to calculate the discounting cash flows or the discounted cash flows, and then you can find the net present value of the investment. After that we can make out whether to accept or reject the particular project. So now the present example, we are considering the 10 lakhs investment. The same example, investment is 10 lakhs and cash flows year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cash flows 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 and 3 lakhs 50,000. 3 lakhs 50,000. So the expected cash flows are total summating 15 lakhs 50,000. So if you see as a layman's approach, 10 lakhs is the investment and after 5 years you will get 15 lakhs 50,000. So 5 lakhs 50,000 is net gain if you are not studying financial management. That means if you are studying financial management, you need to calculate present value factor and find the expected value after multiplying with the present value factors to the cash flows. Then the cumulative value, we need to consider total present value of the cash flows. After that we have to deduct the investment, then only you can decide whether to accept or reject the project. So financial management always insists on present value of cash flows and present value of rupee. Suppose here the rate, we are considering rate of interest is 10%. So PV factors we need to calculate using the formula, then multiply PV factors with the cash flows, then you will find PVCF, present value of the cash flows. So here 1 by 1.1, 1 by 1.1 square, 1 by 1.1 to the power of 3 cube to the power of 4, so to the power of 5. So 1 first year, square second year, cube third year, 4 fourth year, 5 fifth year, n. So R is the rate of interest. using the table value 0.909, this will be 0.826 and this will be 0.75, 0.68, 0.62 approximate values I am giving. So after discounting the present value, we are getting PV factors, and you need to multiply the PV factors with the cash flows. So 0.909 into 2 lakhs, 1880. 1,81,800. 368 So we need to multiply each value, then 62 into 35, 70, 21700. So these are the expected cash flows. Then add this 8, 8, 16, 9, 14 plus 2, 16, 23, 10, 14, 16, 23, 24. So 24 means 10, 11. Minus this is total PVCF. PVCO is 10 lakhs. So 1,43,600. This is NPV. So accept or reject. NPV greater than 0. Accept. So first stage, the step by step I will explain. In the first step we need to calculate present value factor using the formula, present value factor formula, that is 1 by 1 plus r to the power of n. So given rate of interest is 10, n is 1 first year, 0.909 multiplied cash flows 2 lakhs. So 2 lakhs into 0.909, 1,81,800, 3 lakhs into 0.826, 2,47,800, 3 lakhs into 0.75, 2,25,000, 4 lakhs into 0.68, 2,72,000, 3,50,000 into 0.62, 2,17,000, and adding this PVCFs means present value of cash flows 11,43,600. So total present value of cash flows is a sigma PVCFT is 11,43,000 and this is PVCO 10 lakhs, 1,43,600. So reality in terms of absolute cash it is 15,50,000, but after discounting it with the 10% it comes to 11,43,000. If the rate of interest is more, then the present value will come down. If the rate of interest is less, then present value will be increasing. So the present value is always depends on the rate of interest and number of years. So here whether to accept or reject. When PV is greater than 0, you can accept the project. Next stage is IRR. Internal rate of return and profitability index. Internal rate of return is where NPV equal to 0. So, you need to find the rate. So, in this case rate of interest we need to find. In the earlier case rate of interest is given 10% or 12% or 15%, but in this case rate of interest will not be given. We need to find using the approximate rate or trial and error method. After making 2 or 3 trial and errors, if 10% is positive you take 12%, or if the 12% is also positive you can take 15% higher rate, like that. Then after that you need to come to the exact value where NPV equal to 0. So it takes 2-3 stages. First stage at 10%, second stage 15%, third stage 20%, like that you can calculate, then you can find where NPV equal to 0. In case of profitability index, this is simple, sigma PVCFT by PVCO. That means present value of cash flows divided by present value of investment. Outflows, inflows by outflows, or otherwise investment. So here in the earlier example I have calculated present value of cash flows is 43,600 and this is 10 lakhs. This comes to 1.143 profitability index. Hence simply profitability index greater than 1 accept, profitability index less than 1 reject. So accept and reject criteria is depending on the profitability index value. If it is greater than 1 accept the project, less than 1 reject the project. Now I will make one simple chart which will give you total analysis. So accept or reject. First is payback, lesser value accept, higher value reject. Second is ARR, higher accept, less reject. Third, NPV greater than 0 accept, less than 0 reject. Fourth, IRR, higher value accept, less value reject. Fifth, profitability index greater than 1 accept, less than 1 reject. So this is the simple criteria or traditional and modern methods comparative analysis. The financial experts will always consider accept or reject criteria using various techniques, that is either payback method or ARR or NPV, IRR, profitability index. So whether to accept a project or reject a project is depend on the value calculated from the project. So payback period should always be lesser. So after that payback period whatever the investment is considered as gain to the organization. And regarding ARR, average rate of return should be always higher. So if the higher rate of interest compared to the inflation rate or compared to the bank rate, we will consider the accepting project. Regarding NPV greater than 0, that is, we are considering NPV greater than 0 means after discounting the cash flows, after making investment analysis with a given rate of interest or given adjusted rate of interest, inflation adjusted interest, there are different criteria whether to discount at the present rate or discounted after adjusting inflation, then after making the discounted with the adjustment of inflation or not, we will be getting the value. If the NPV greater than 0, we need to accept the project. If NPV less than 0, we need to reject the project. Regarding IRR, internal rate of return, first we need to derive the value where NPV equal to 0, then after that we need to decide if the higher IRR is accepted, lesser IRR is rejected. Regarding profitability index, this is also simple calculation. Present value of total cash flows divided with the present value of investment. If it is accepted, greater than 1, rejected, less than 1. But main drawback for these two is it does not considers present value of rupee. And these are scientific, and these will be considering present value of rupee. Present value of rupee. So modern methods are always preferred compared to payback and ARR, because they will not consider present value of rupee, and main drawback, it will not consider the losses happening after the payback period. So it is not considering losses considering after the payback period, losses after the payback period. Here this is also, we are considering only average rate. These two are not scientific, these two will not be considering present value of rupee, and these three are modern methods, they are scientific and they are considering present value of rupee. If there are two projects, project A and project B, the same criteria we need to consider whether the project A is lesser payback period, we need to accept. Whether the project is having higher ARR, we need to accept. The same thing with respect to NPVs, IRR and profitability index. Only payback period, lesser one is taken into consideration of acceptance. Remaining ARR, NPV, IRR or profitability index should be higher value compared to the other investment. So capital budgeting considers investment appraisal methods. In the investment appraisal methods, we have seen 5 methods, that is traditional and modern, broadly categorized into 2 and further categorized into 5 steps: payback, ARR, NPV, IRR and profitability index. Okay, thank you. అయిపోయింది.